Hey there, everyone. So we're continuing the top 8 decks from Pro Tour Secrets of Strixhaven, and today's deck is the number 7 finisher, Matthew Stefansson. He piloted a Mono-Green Landfall deck, which really powerful already before Secrets of Strixhaven. Didn't get any new additions, but it's understandably why, because it's already a really powerful deck. I'm sure Wizards kind of intended things that way with their design and testing. But it's still a powerful deck and one of the top decks in Standard. And for those of you who are not familiar with it, it pretty much is kind of like it's a landfall deck, but that kind of ramps out stuff, and you can do some crazy effects once you start get the landfall triggers going. Basically, you ramp out your stuff with the land rails, and you can put a Saja's Chocobo onto the battlefield, giving it has a landfall trigger, giving it +1/+1 counters. Badger Mole Cub allows you to earthbend one of your lands, and any creature that taps for mana can add an additional green mana, so that kind of ramps stuff into play for you. You have the Keen-Eye Curator. This is a nice metagame call because it's a 3/3 for 2. You can pay 1 to exile a card from a graveyard, and then if 4 more card types are exiled using this card, it gets +4/+4 and trample. That can get pretty out of hand right away, and it's really good against the Lesson decks and the Reanimator decks. I still explore. You can play an additional land on each of your turns. You can play a land from your graveyard, and whenever you play a land, you mill a card, so you're able to get that land back if it goes to the graveyard. And then things to allow your deck to kind of get really crazy with the Mart Form Harmonizer. You can warp it in, or you can hard cast it, and whenever a land enters, you can double the power of a creature you control. You have a little bit of fight spells with the Melt Strider's Resolve. This is pretty good for keeping your creatures alive. It allows you to fight some of your opponent's creatures, and your stuff's can get pretty big due to all the triggers. And we also have Earthbender Ascension, really key card for this deck because when it enters, it Earthbends 2, and it's pretty good for using that on any of your sack lands, because they'll cut you, Earthbend it, sack it, comes back. It gets a trigger from the earthbending, but it also gets the ability that you use when you sacrifice it. So you get some double landfall triggers there. Sapling Nursery, if you're able to get this out pretty quick, it can get out of hand because of all the landfall triggers. You create all the tree folk tokens, especially with all the forests you run. You're running 14 of those. And then 1 copy of Bushwhack, which allows you to go get a basic land or fight a creature with it. So things can get pretty nasty and pretty out of hand pretty quickly for your opponents if they don't keep your creatures in check. And there's a lot of paths to victory with this deck. So that's a breakdown of the deck. If you want to stick around for the back half of the video, I will go over what it costs to build in paper or to build it in wild cards, and just an analysis of the deck. But let's go ahead and hop on the ladder and see if we can rack up some wins with it. Okay. Yeah, it's actually a pretty good playable hand here. We'll go ahead and keep this one. That's pretty good. Play that. Go ahead and go with the forest. Okay, I wonder if they're doing Reanimator. It's pretty cool. Sleeves? Yep. Alrighty. Okay, I think we'll go ahead and drop the Fabled Passage. Tap that for mana. Put that on the Fabled Passage there. Yeah, I think we'll go ahead and attack here. Go ahead and crack that. Okay. Well, let's see here. I think we'll go ahead. Yeah, we'll go ahead and attack with everything. Yeah. And go ahead and crack that. Let's see what they have here. Now we'll go ahead and go after their deceit. No Spider-Man yet, unless they have it in hand. They're in real trouble, actually. If we get to untap, we're going to exile a bunch of stuff from their graveyard. We'll go after their Bringer, Overlord, get a couple lands. Alright, so they have Try the Peaks in the graveyard. That stinks. Alright. Probably should have cast that first. Made a mistake there. Although, I don't know if we'd be able to kill him. Let's see here. I think we'll just go ahead and... Let's go ahead and attack there. Let's see here. This. Okay, let's return a creature card from their graveyard to their hand. What do they have? That's a big one. That's a big one. That's a big one. I think we're going to have to go after their stuff. Okay. Yeah, we had them. We were starting to take their parts away from them, so we'll take that win. Alrighty. Little slower hand, but I think we can play it. We have a 2-drop. It's going to be pretty good. Let's give it a shot. Now let's go ahead and drop that. Alrighty. Okay. Don't think I want to attack just yet. Probably go with let's Let's see what they do here. Playing some kind of ramp deck. Because they got a Mutavault token. That's pretty good. Okay. Could play that and then play a land. Really want to get rid of our that summon. Draw a card. If they control a creature with the greatest power. Okay. Alright. I think we'll go ahead and play that. And we haven't played a land yet, so... Ah, bummer. Okay. I think we'll put that on here. We'll just have it kill the... And we'll go ahead and attack there. I'm willing to trade with those two. And we'll go ahead and pass there. Let's see. Search your library up to 2 basic forest cards. Reel them, put one on the battlefield tapped and the other into your hand. Okay. Oh, they're ramping again. Okay. We're gonna have a lot of lands here. We're gonna have to double time it. Alright. Go ahead and exile their Fenrir. And let's see here. I think we'll warp in a Harmonizer. Yeah. Let's got trample. Play another land. Double that. Okay, sweet. That usually causes it. Alrighty. Yeah, we'll keep this. Okay. Playing the talent. Prowess deck. This will be interesting. No blocks there. Alright. That's good. Okay. Let's see. How do I want to do this? Do we want to develop our board? Or... So we're only going to have 3 mana available to us. I think we need to develop the board. So we'll have 4 mana available, plus the landfall trigger. Okay. That would give him a way to... that sucked. That's pretty good use of the charm, though. Alright. So I think we just hard cast this. Let's go ahead and play that. Set us up for next turn. The nursery will be cheaper as well. Alrighty. Really going to town. Using up all those prowess triggers. We got 3 of these now. Okay. Shoot. Can't cast that. Yeah, I think I just hard cast this again, because we can't really warp it in and use that. We'll lose the Strider. The Melt Strider altogether, so. Wow, their 3rd Storm Chaser's Talon. They got 1 card in hand. Yeah, they're playing something. If we block, they still wouldn't have been able to kill it, so they're playing some kind of trick up their sleeve. Okay. Alright. Go ahead and attack here. Thinking they might have a bounce spell, but we'll see. I think I'm going to go ahead and activate this, though. We need the forest anyway to discount this. And here comes the bounce spell. Oh, interesting. Okay. I was kind of surprised at that. We'll take the win, though. Alrighty. Nice. We are on the play. We got our quick ramp, so let's give it a shot. I think we'll drop Forest to the Llanowar. And we'll see if we can ramp into the Badgermole Cub. Okay. So we're not going to have another land. So we'll just go ahead and... Or another land we can use this turn. Yeah, I'll just go ahead and play that. Actually, I probably should have played that and then cast the Badgermole Cub. Yep. Probably academic anyway. No major landfall triggers. We need the mana. Let's give it a shot. Alright. A lot of choices with this deck. I think we'll go ahead and do this. Do the Ice Chill Explorer. That'll give us back the Fabled Passage. Go ahead and crack that. Two Badgermoles. 3 of them. Ah, that stinks. Yeah, just all creatures. Huh, and another one. All right. Let's see here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. I think we'll hard cast this. Crack that. Then we can play another land. Should be able to kill him here. Nice, yeah. You just sack that, doubles that, makes it 32 power, kills him. Nice. That was a quick end right there. Okay. Huh. It's an interesting hand. It's an aggressive hand with the landfall and the chocobo. If it survives, it can do some pretty crazy stuff. Let's go ahead and keep it and see if we can have it go crazy here. Next turn, if it survives, we'll go ahead and drop the escape tunnel and then crack it, get 2 landfall triggers off of it. Ooh, I don't know if it's going to survive. Oh, they're going to make us exile a card, huh? That's a tough one. This is a discard deck, I'm willing to bet. Usually they'll only run the Ruthless Negotiation. I'm going to go ahead and just we'll get rid of the Curator. These are also usually pretty light on creatures. Go ahead and attack. Crack that. That's a bummer. Okay, hey, look at that. That's pretty good. I think we just go ahead and do that. Play that. We'll pass the turn. Depending on what they do, we'll crack this at the end of their turn. Fabled Passage. Bummer. Pretty tough choice. Okay, go crack that. Alrighty. So don't have any landfall triggers. So I think I'm just gonna go ahead and attack with the chocobo, and we'll play a Keen-Eyed Curator, and we'll pass. See if we can start chewing up the graveyards, get this bigger. You just get one more land, will be a really good spot. Yeah, we'll ditch that. We'll get the flashback card. Oh, look what we have to go after. Darn. Not another land. Otherwise, I'd warp that in, drop a land, and double his power. Sorcery. Instant sorcery. Oh, yeah. I think we can do some silly stuff here. Let's get the instant. Get rid of the enchantment. And Get rid of the creature. There we go. Smack him for 9. Just need 1 land. We can do some silly stuff with the Harmonizer. Let's see here. They level that up. We'll take two points of life loss if we have 1 or fewer cards in hand, but they're hurting on land. Okay, well, we're not going to get that. Darn it. All right, yeah. Let's go ahead and attack with everything. Okay. Yeah, they kind of got land hose. They didn't really stand a chance there. I think if we would have drawn a land, though, we would have dropped the... or actually cast the Might Form Harmonizer for its warp cost. Drop the land. That would have given a landfall trigger there. And also trigger on the Harmonizer. We could have made either of those big, and it would have killed them. And I don't know if they would have really had a response. Either way, they'd be facing some pretty heavy damage coming their way. Either way, if we had just 1 more land. Alrighty, so that was the Mono-Green Landfall deck, 7th place finisher by Matthew Stefansson. Yeah, this deck, as you saw, it's pretty dominant. It just kind of gets crazy against your opponents and just starts wiping them out with all the landfall triggers, trampling, and just doubling creatures' power. And it's really apparent, though, when we were able to do that against our opponent, when we would have gotten the 32 points of damage through in one of those games there. I will say this, though, and playing it kind of confirms it, even when testing it out. Since I don't play these decks as much as somebody that's playing it for a tournament or something like that, the more reps you can get with this deck, the better you'll do, and you'll be able to see different paths to victory by the more you play it, and you kind of know the deck in and out. This deck really holds true to that because there's so many different ways to win, either through creating a bunch of tree folk tokens, which are the correct creatures to double their power on, which creatures are the correct ones to put the +1/+1 counter and trample on. Also, exiling the cards and giving the Keen-Eyed Curator trample. Also, same thing with getting multiple landfall triggers, and then when to do those during combat, when to do it during main phase, when to do it at the end of your opponent's turn, and of course, just making things ramp with the Badgermole Cub, and also strategically using Bossing Say by being able to give your stuff earthbending. You could do that repeatedly with these sack the fetch lands, and that can get kind of nuts. So just stuff to keep in mind. But yeah, the more you play it, the better you'll get at it. But let's go ahead and run over to Moxfield real quick, and we'll do a quick breakdown of the deck. Okay, here we are at Moxfield, and here's the deck laid out with the Moxfield. It's got the 23 creatures, pretty streamlined there with that, and same thing with the enchantments and the Bushwhack as the only sorcery in the deck. It's got running 26 land, which is pretty good, and then it's got looks like it's got 9 fetch lands, and then Bossing Say to give those earthbending. Now, one thing I didn't cover initially is the sideboard, and the sideboard, you actually have another copy of Melt Strider Resolve. Gives you a full complement into the main deck if you use those. And we have Origin of Metal Bending to get rid of artifact or enchantment, or give a creature a counter and indestructible. Paw Path Formation, pretty useful against flying creatures, destroying an enchantment or drawing a card and getting a food token. Torpor Orb, which is pretty key against some of those ETB creatures. Mossborn Hydra, I'm surprised he didn't play it in the main deck, but this is available in the sideboard, and if you have this in the main deck, you're just going to go crazy with it, with all the landfall triggers against your opponent. Surrak, the Elusive Hunter, this is a really nice card. The fact that creatures you control become a target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, you draw a card each time. That's pretty nice, and it's uncounterable. One copy of the Scouring Storm Soul. This is actually Sandman from the Spider-Man set, and it's just a big creature that has power and toughness equal to the number of lands you control. Leatherhead Swamp Stalker. In the previous video I did for this deck, had this in the main deck, and this is a really powerful beat stick you can use against your opponents. You can put +1/+1 counters on it, allowing it to retain the hexproof counter and remove one of those +1/+1 counters to destroy an artifact or enchantment. And then we have one more copy of the Sapling Nursery in case you need it. So the deck itself, it's a $400 deck. Not surprising, it runs the Badger Mole Cub and a bunch of other good stuff, so that's no surprise there. Pretty average for standard nowadays, a little bit on the upper side. And then it's running 11 common, 11 uncommon, 33 rare, and 6 mythics. So, and 4 of those are the Badger Mole Cubs. So that's just something to keep in mind if you want to craft it on Arena. So that's the deck there for the 7th place finisher for the mono green deck at Pro Tour Secrets of Strixhaven. But I'll be back in soon with some more top 8 decks. But until next time, everybody, hope you enjoyed it. You have a good rest of your day, and we will see you next time.